The indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. That's what time is defined as. To some, time is an illusion, and to some, it's as meaningless and controllable as life itself. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just wasting time. With these stands, we can never waste time again. These are the 7 time manipulation stands in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Warning, canon spoilers go up to JoJo Part 7, and spoilers in the light novel George Joestar and the video game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more JoJo content. Number 1. Dio Stand the World, or Zawardo if you want to get original. 100 years after the events of JoJo Part 1 Phantom Blood, Dio has obtained a stand. If you're watching this video and you don't know what a stand is, you need to turn this video off and go watch JoJo. But if you got past the spoiler warning, a stand is a spiritual manifestation of a person or animal, as I showed in my last JoJo video. It could be easier to call these stands their powers, but in more cases the stands are spiritual beings that use the powers for or by the stand user's command. Dio's stand is one of and is debatably the strongest stand in JoJo. Now this is really pertaining to stats, but the world also has what I would consider to be a high to top tier ability, the power to stop time. The world allows Dio to freely move in a world of stop time for a set amount of seconds. These are only seconds to those able to traverse this world of stop time. To those not able to use time manipulation, the time goes by instantly. And to us the viewers, it can take a whole episode because anime. Remember when Nami was supposed to blow up in 5 minutes? Dio has been shown to be able to develop this power. He went from stopping time for moments to up to 11 seconds in the anime. In the games and light novels, it has been said that he can stop time for an hour and implies he will eventually have no time limit to his time stop ability. Ominous. Besides that ability, the world has an A in strength, speed, and stain, a C in range, and a B in precision and development. An extremely powerful stand made for a true supervillain like Dio Brando. Number 2. Jotaro stand, Star Platinum. I could have said more on the world, but Star Platinum just does it better. Jotaro Kujo, our third JoJo of the series, first officially shown stand user and my favorite character in the series. I said that the world was debatably the strongest stand because Star Platinum has more cases for being its superior in my opinion. For reasons only covered in theory, Star Platinum has the same ability as the world. I have my own speculations on why that is, but I'll be making another video on that in the future. Jotaro, who obtained this power quite later than Dio, was only able to get his time stop to last 5 seconds. I know what I just said earlier, but it's the stats of Star Platinum as well as the versatility and willpower of Jotaro that makes them superior. But plainly speaking on their time manipulation capabilities, the world is superior due to Dio having more time to hone the ability as well as the motive to use it more. With an A in everything but range, I want to bring up the fact that the world was able to extend its time stop to an hour and potentially forever in the Eyes of Heaven timeline. Now the world's development is a B, so it had a lot of potential for it. Star Platinum's is an A. Star Platinum debatably always had time stop, like Joseph always had precognition. In the Eyes of Heaven timeline, Dio evolves into Heaven Ascension Dio, and the world evolves into the world over Heaven. In addition to an hour minimum time stop, he can rewrite reality amongst other abilities. Jotaro defeats him via Star Platinum evolving into Star Platinum over Heaven, and now Star Platinum has the same abilities. Now I don't know what grade the development dropped to when they upgrade to their over Heaven version, but the fact that the world has a B and Star Platinum has an A in development, even if the world dropped to an E, it would stand to reason that Star Platinum would only drop to a B in development and still have development to go, even after becoming a multiversal threat. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Platinum. Number 3. Kira stand bites the dust. In Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, we have our main antagonist, Yoshikage Kira, a serial killer with a hand fetish that really just wants to live a peaceful, uneventful life where he simply abducts and kills girls every time his nails get too long. He then likes to keep the hand as a significant other. Nothing too crazy. His stand is a humanoid cat stand that is similar to the world in Star Platinum that is the average humanoid punchy stand for lack of better terms at the moment, but its ability is not time but explosions. The time stuff comes later on, hold on. This stand is special. It has 2 abilities offer it. Its first bomb where he can turn anyone or anything into a bomb, not via transmutation or anything, but they just become explosive and he can detonate this at will or set it off by touch. His second bomb actually serves as a second stand, a heat-seeking explosive tank that can track foes regardless of distance from him, has been shown too durable for Star Platinum to break. My man's Kira was already busted coming out the gate, and at one point in the story he still finds a way to get his back against the wall, and as a result he is stabbed by the stand arrow. Real fast, the stand arrow is what brings stand power out of a dormant stand user. If you don't have the potential to become a stand user, the arrow kills you. In this case, if an already realized stand user gets stabbed with the stand arrow, they receive a new ability. And here Killer Queen becomes a smaller version of itself called Bites the Dust. It has the power to rewind time, evidently back 1 hour. More specifically, however, it also has fate manipulation. Bear with me. Killer Queen shrinks and becomes Bites the Dust, more or less. Bites the Dust goes into the eye of the intended non-stand user and serves its purpose, which is to blow up the person whose eye it's in if they reveal or are asked about specific information about the stand user. Also killing whoever is in the blast radius. Rewinds time back an hour because it actually blew up time and sets those that died previously in that blown up timeline destined to die the same way even if they were to completely avoid the situation this time. Convoluted, yes, but useful. Downside? He is unaware of what's going on with his target and is not immune to the time rewind, meaning only his target that is stuck in the temporal loop remembers the events of the time explosion. So I'm only going to do Bites the Dust stand stats because this is a time manipulation video and both Killer Queen and Sheer Heart Attack have stand stats of their own. Bites the Dust has a B in strength and speed, an A in range and stain, a D in precision, and an A in development. While I don't foresee Kira potentially getting anything more broken than peak star platinum over heaven, the true potential I was talking about earlier, the fact that Kira has 3 abilities that are classified as separate stands and all 3 of these stands have an A in development, I can only imagine how broken Kira would be if he unlocked the true potential of all 3 stands. Number 4, Diavolo stand King Crimson. I'm a fan of everything in Jojo, not gonna lie, so anything or anyone I claim I don't really care for, it's in comparison to other Jojo content and should be taken lightly. That to say, I'm not a big Diavolo fan, and there are certain aspects of his personality, presence, and influence that I do love and appreciate, but I felt less threatened by him than Dio. I felt more threatened by Kira in Part 4. However, Diavolo stand King Crimson is still a formidable time manipulation stand. Diavolo is also Doppio, who has multiple personality disorder. Doppio answers to Diavolo as the boss of the mafia organization Passione and believes himself to be a top-tier subordinate. Doppio himself seems an easily flustered and scared young man, but he also stands on business when really needed. King Crimson has the ability to erase time. He jumps to 10 seconds in the future, and what I'm assuming he is, in a way, traveling in the world of stop time to accomplish this. Having jumped into the future and able to see any potential threats he may want to avoid, he makes his changes whether it's avoidance or attempted murder, and he then erases the 10 seconds of time he jumped past, making his changes and any natural ones happen instantly. Doppio himself has shown precognition via Epitaph, another ability of King Crimson. Diavolo hasn't been shown to use Epitaph specifically, but either he is using it and that's what allows him to jump into the future, so to say, or he doesn't need it because he can jump into the future. With an A in strength and speed, but an E in range and stain, in my opinion the stand itself is a little above average, but the ability is high tier.
I'm being tested. In a moment, we will find out if I'm prepared to vanquish my past.
We really only grow once we've conquered our phantoms, wouldn't you say? How lovely to see you again, Jean-Pierre Polnareff.
I know you! Diavolo!
Number 5, Giorno Giovanna stand Gold Experience Requiem. In Jojo Part 5, Golden Wind, we find out that Dio has a son, Giorno Giovanna. Technically Jonathan's son, but, you know. The 5th Jojo in the series and the strongest canon Jojo character, Giorno Giovanna. This man has a dream that he accomplished. He became a gang star and the leader of Passione after defeating Diavolo. What stand does this man have that can beat Foresight and Time Erasure? Well, even though Gold Experience is a great stand in base, and even more so with the intelligence and ingenuity of Jojo, it's not the stand that got him to his status of strongest canon Jojo. Gold Experience has the power of life. It can give inanimate objects life, give life, make people's senses go crazy, sense life, take life, etc. Now, we saw before what happens when a stand user is pierced with the arrow, but we see this time what happens when a worthy enough stand is pierced by the arrow. We get a Requiem stand. Gold Experience Requiem is broken beyond most people's comprehension. There's a joke that his power is no. Gold Experience Requiem's new ability, Reset to Zero, reverts all actions back to zero, nullifying abilities and actions. Gold Experience Requiem was able to move in the world of Stop Time and talk to Diavolo even though Giorno himself couldn't, showing the stand was sentient and above the concept of time. While not a specific time manipulation stand, Reset to Zero was able to reset erase time as well as death, causing the infamous death loop. With a null in every category, this stand is an anomaly. Number 6. Poochie Stand, Made in Heaven. My favorite villain in fiction, the head minister in charge, Enrico Pucci. Loyal follower of Dio is an understatement. This man made sure Dio's plan was completed even after Dio's death. He put his life and soul on the line for the plan. Pucci had the stand Whitesnake that was able to give and take memories and stands. It had the secondary ability to trap people in illusions with a type of white goo. Pucci then used his subordinate stand Limp Biscuit to revive a bone of Dio's as an invisible corpse, which grew into the Green Baby, who is an illegitimate Joestar, and then gives up his stand Whitesnake to merge with the Green Baby and become Sea Moon. Sea Moon controls gravity, which Pucci has been theorizing affects time and space and fate altogether. After getting to the correct and perfect spot thanks to no other than Jojo, Pucci was in alignment for his Sea Moon to turn into Made in Heaven. Pucci had reached the heaven that him and Dio were talking about. Made in Heaven has the ability to accelerate time, seemingly infinitely. While Made in Heaven speeds up time, everything living moves at its normal speed. Pucci is able to travel these speeds with the time. Ultimately, he resets the universe with this ability. With a B in strength, a C in range and precision, but infinite speed, this stand was almost unstoppable. In my opinion, it literally took one of the few ass-pulls that I'll admit was an ass-pull to beat him. And number 7, Ringo Rodigan Stand Mandem. In our non-animated Part 7 Steel Ball Run, we have a man living in a secluded area who works for the President of the United States, who happens to be the main antagonist for Part 7. In this part, we are in a new universe because Pucci sped up time, and there is now a horse race going on for money obviously, but also clout due to the fact that there was never a race like this going across the country before. There were also parts of Universe 2's Jesus Christ Earthly Corpse that this part's Jojo and Jobro were trying to collect and survive stand users sent from the President of the United States, who was also trying to collect these corpse parts. Anyway, they come across Ringo Rodigan, who is a gunslinger with a stand mandem that allows him to rewind time 6 seconds into the past. He constantly uses this ability to keep our protagonist lost while trying to progress in the race, leaving them no choice but to engage him in combat. Mandem is a top mid-tier in my opinion because unlike Bites the Dust that goes back an hour, it's not accompanied by 2 other extremely powerful stands. However, Ringo's gunmanship and resolve makes him a bigger threat altogether, and he is able to almost end Part 7 right there until he coaches Gyro Zeppelin to defeating him. A true GOAT. With an A in speed, an E in stain, a C in development, and null for power, range, and precision, it definitely needs a skilled user to be more than a minor to moderate inconvenience. And this video is almost at 13 minutes, so let's hurry up and get through these honorable mentions. Most of these are variants of stands on the list. Some I've already mentioned, but let's get through it. Dio Stand, the world over heaven from the game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven. Dio claimed an estimation that it would be able to stop time for an hour, and it's insinuated that it can stop time forever in the game. And it's confirmed can rewrite reality. Confirmed to be above Reset to Zero and Infinite Rotation. Dio Stand, the world ultimate from the light novel George Joestar. Confirmed can stop time for an hour plus. Dio Stand Made in Heaven Ultimate Requiem from the light novel George Joestar. Born from Whitesnake Ultimate, getting stabbed by the arrow, gaining a wound, a new power in Comp Jojo, which evolves into Sea Moon Ultimate Requiem. This stand is further evolved into Made in Heaven Ultimate Requiem, which can accelerate time much faster and more precise than its canon counterpart. Jonathan Joestar Stand, The Passion. While its canon counterpart does the same thing as Hermit Purple, the George Joestar version has the ability to see the futures of the Joestars. Doppio's unnamed stand from the light novel George Joestar, one of my favorite non-canon stands, has the ability to turn any and multiple items into a phone. The signal for these phone lines reaches across time and space and is also able to be used offensively via sound manipulation. And these last 3 almost didn't even make the honorable mention list, but Alessi's set from Part 3, Josuke Higashikata's Crazy Diamond, and Pursuito's The Grateful Dead could be looked at as time manipulation for their powers of making people younger, returning things to their former state, and making people older respectively. And this very last feat is by Pucci when he had Sea Moon, where Jotaro has him in Time Stop and he is still able to move slightly in the world of Stop Time. Now if you believe in the theory that gravity controls time indirectly, then you have an argument that Sea Moon is an illegitimate time manipulation stand. And that's all of them. Let me know in the comments what you think, if I missed any or if any shouldn't be in this video. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more JoJo content.
Dreams that never come true. Bonds will be empty except for the memory of how they were passed upon you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to once you find them. I look around and I know that you're the one I want to go to.